Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy JG. Just wanted to get you guys rolling here on step 4 of the 5 steps to manage your daily fantasy sports bankroll. So before we get into step 4, which is treat your bankroll like a business, we'll go ahead and do some review. In the first video, we talked about getting your household finances in order. Step 2 is having a plan. Step 3 is being patient. Going back to what we were talking about in the being patient video, I've created a new YouTube, for all the YouTube watchers, a new Google Sheet that's now available. I'll do a walkthrough to demonstrate how I use it in a future video. You can get a free copy by emailing me at alldayjg@yahoo.com or tweet me. I'm on the Twitters at swimjg. So let's get rolling. So you want to treat your bankroll like your business. So you want to take this seriously finally. You're tired of being a losing player. You're tired of losing sleep. You're tired of getting pissed off and being an anxious mess, being short with your family and your wife and your kids because you're losing way too much money. Don't worry, I got you. So we're going to treat this like a business. Go down to the local Target, Walgreens, CVS, buy you one of these signs, put it outside your door because you're open for business. We'll go ahead and roll into the lifeblood of your DFS career, opportunity, hobby, whatever you want to call it, is your bankroll. The longer that you can make your bankroll work, the longer that you can stay in the game, the better you manage it. The more you're going to learn, and the more that you learn means you're going to win more, and then you're going to be able to move up. So there's a lot of confusion about bankroll. Again, most articles that you find will say, hey, you should put 10% of your bankroll in play every single day. 80% of your bankroll should go into head-to-heads and double-ups, and the other 20% should go into GPPs. That is the worst advice you could possibly get, especially for somebody that is GPP player only. If you're playing cash, you have to basically win 55 out of 100 days, and even then you're barely beating rake. So it's a total waste of time in my opinion. In terms of GPP, there can be wild swings. So even if you were putting in the recommended 10% per day, 2% in GPP, that can be hard to quantify based off of the type of tournaments that you want to play in. So let's say 2% of your bankroll is $2. All right, well, you can't even afford to play in a whole quarter arcade, and you're not going to get much out of playing $2. So you're going to just want to be flexible, know what type of player that you want to be, and that's why I always recommend starting small. If you can't beat the quarters, you shouldn't be playing at the dollars. If you can't beat the dollar, you should move up 2, 3, 4. But these guys out here with $500 bankrolls playing in the $4 tournament every day on DraftKings, putting in $80. If this is just a hobby, if this is just fun for you, that's fine. But if you want to be in this long term and really get good, you can't be putting in almost 20% in your bankroll in a tournament that you're competing with 40,000 other people in. That's why you have to keep depositing. That's why you're losing. Not because you're not a good player, it's because you're not playing in the right contest. So I prefer to manage a bankroll based off of buy-ins. The more buy-ins you have, the easier it is to withstand a downswing. You will have downswings. I've been a winning player for over 2 years now, and the downswings come sometimes it's a couple days, sometimes it's a couple weeks, and they're not fun. And this is the only thing that I know in terms of how to overcome that. So let's look at the buy-ins. So what kind of person are you? Are you ultra conservative? Are you conservative? Are you somewhere in the middle? Hey, I like a lot of risk. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like taking risks. Sometimes I don't. That's cool. You should base your buy-ins off of the type of the person that you are, and you should probably increase your buy-ins as you move up. The more buffer that you have and the number of buy-ins, the easier it is going to be able to withstand the swings. Again, what's your goal here? Are you doing this to become a professional, or are you doing this just to have a little extra money for vacation, or hey, do you just want to put in a couple bucks and play on the weekends? Whatever your goal is, that's fine, but just have a plan for the money that you put in. So taking a look at what do I mean by buy-ins, right? Well, what tournaments do you like to play in? And this is all for DraftKings. DraftKings is the most friendly site, the friendliest site for brand new players. Again, the other sites you can play, but you're not going to be able to get the kind of volume that you need to build up the sample size. So all of these buy-ins are based off of DraftKings. So what type of tournament do you want to play in? So if you're starting at the bottom, you're playing at the quarters, quarter to entry, they're 20 maxes. So a buy-in would be $5. So 25 cents times 20 entries. So again, looking at this, you don't really need to be ultra conservative at this point. If you have $1,000 and you're only putting in $5, again, if you play all of the slates and you play all of the quarter jukeboxes that open up, $1,000, that might be a little overkill. 500 might even be overkill. Most people aren't going to, 250 to 500 bucks isn't going to change their life too much. So I would recommend at this stage, you could probably be a little bit more aggressive. But hey, if you just want to stick to a plan the whole time, choose one of the buy-in categories that works best for you. And then on the Google sheet that I created for the channel, it automatically calculates all of this. You just basically put in, hey, these are the contests I want to play in. These are the buy-ins that I want for the contest, and I have them all set at 100. And if you want more, if you want less, you can adjust it manually. It's very easy. So the next part, this is the part that nobody does. It sucks. Everybody on Twitter, everybody in chats, everybody in forums, they all win, which is amazing because only 10% of people that play DFS actually win. So those people are lying, and the opposite of lying is truth, and they can't handle the truth, and that's why they're not winning. So if you're tired of losing, you got to start being brutally honest with yourself, and that's why you need to track everything you play. And you might think you're the champ at the winner-take-all contest, and if you actually tracked it, you might see that that's where you're siphoning off a big part of your bankroll. Or you might see, hey, you know what? I played in these micro boosters a couple times, and that's actually helping sustain my bankroll growth. So I know it sucks, and I do this every single day. I'm not even joking. If I don't do it one day, I'll make up for it and do 2 days. Every single day, I download my CSV from DraftKings, and I calculate everything. And I'll show you guys how I do that. I did it, I think, in the second video that I did, but we can go through it again because it's that important. You need to track everything. I can track within a penny of every contest that I play in. I can tell you what my win rate is. I can tell you what my ROI is. And this is huge because it helps me to know, hey, you know what? I'm playing basketball. I'm a profitable basketball player. I just started learning hockey. I shouldn't be losing my basketball winnings playing hockey. So that's how you can track things and know when to step up and when to scale back. And the more you track, the bigger the sample size you're going to have, and then you're going to be able to know how you can improve because the sample size will dictate where you've been profitable and where you've been losing. Tracking everything is unfamiliar for a lot of people, and it's highly important. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated. I keep it very simple. The game types, and what I mean by the game types, I'll be tracking the mini-max, the classic traditional slates, the contest. I say contest, but they're actually called contests on DraftKings. The micro boosters, the winner take alls, and the satellites. If you want to play showdowns, if you want to play the tiers on DraftKings, you can do that too. You want to play other sports, you can customize the spreadsheet to make it do whatever it wants. And it's going to track your P&L, your profit and loss, your ROI, your return on your investment, and your win rate. Hey, when I play, how often am I winning? So if you hit a downswing and you have a, let's say, a 40% win rate, but for 2 weeks you've been winning at 30% of the time, well, the large numbers are going to say you're probably going to head into an upswing. So when you're thinking about quitting, hang in there, maybe scale back your action because if you're a consistent winner, you're gonna scale back up. Got to put in your time, guys. The longer you play, there's a lot of nuance to the game. I say that a lot, and there just is. You know, you start with anything. The more you play DFS, it's like learning a language. You start to learn a new language. You can speak a couple words. You don't even know how the verbs, the present and past tense, future tense, you don't even know how to conjugate a verb. I think that's, I don't know if that's the right word, but you don't even know how to do that. That's the same thing with DFS. The more you learn, the better player you become. And it's just amazing, man. Like, I get my system down and I just am obsessed with being efficient. And I'll be doing something all season long and I'll discover one little nugget, one new caveat that I never even saw before, and it changes everything and it increases the efficiency of my process, and that's only from playing a bunch. So you got to get your reps in. You got to get your 10,000 hours. You got to earn the opportunity to be playing this game long term. So this is from the movie Colors. It's probably a lot of people haven't seen it. It's kind of an older movie, but Robert Duvall is a veteran cop, and he's working with Sean Penn, who's a rookie cop. And Robert Duvall's seen it all. Sean Penn is young and hungry, and he tells him a story. You guys can watch it on YouTube. But the moral of these next two slides is stop chasing the big payday. You're siphoning off so much of your bankroll because you think you can win 100 grand. Now, if you don't care and DFS isn't something that the money that you have for it is just for fun and you don't need it, play in those contests. Doesn't bother me at all. But if you're sincere on becoming a professional or one of the best players in the world, you got to stop doing that. You're siphoning off so much of your bankroll. Those contests are so top heavy for the payouts. A lot of the times it's like 10% of the prize pool to first, 50% to the top 10, which is great if you finish in the top 10. But if you're one of the 39,990 people who don't finish in the top 10, you're probably not making money in that tournament. So you play in that day after day. Unless you finish in the top 10, you're going to be making deposit after deposit after deposit. So stop doing that. Put in the work to earn the opportunity to compete for it day in and day out. So my goal is to continue to just move up. Every time I move up, the competition gets a little bit bigger, but guess what? So does my bankroll, and I can play there longer and be patient enough to start making some of these big paydays that make it worth it. So it started out, hey, dude, I just won a couple $100. This is great. You know, this is extra money for the house. And then you start making you get into the 4-figure profit for a month. Like, whoa, this is no joke. And you start making multiple thousands, and then everything just changes for you overnight. Like, holy crap, I might be able to quit my job or scale back my hours or go take a part-time job and do this. And the life-changing benefits are incredible if you're willing to put in the time. Start at the level you can afford to play at, learn a lot, win a lot, pad your bankroll, move up, walk, don't run. Tortoise versus the hare. I think we talked about in another video. Why go slow? The same joke actually appears in The Sopranos. HBO just started airing The Sopranos recently, and I'm going back and rewatching that show. It's amazing. I watched it about 10 years ago, watching it now, and it's pretty cool to watch it, but I digress. Why go slow? You got to know where you're most profitable and where you're siphoning money. It helps keep your mental clarity when you have your bankroll and you're playing for a couple buy-ins a night. You know, if you have 100 buy-in and you lose a buy-in and a half one night, you're not going to lose any sleep over that because you still have, you know, almost 99, almost your full bankroll still intact. And a winning night can add, you know, 10, 20 buy-ins and wipe out a whole week of losing. You just want to make sure that it's not affecting your mood, it's not affecting your sleep, it's not affecting your relationships at work, with your wife, with your friends. Nobody wants to be around an irritable a-hole. And nobody wants to hear you complaining about playing a game and how if Tom Brady would have just thrown a couple more touchdown passes, or if Russell Westbrook got that last rebound and he got the triple-double bonus and he would have done so well. Nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares. I play DFS every day and I love it. I don't even want to hear those stories. You know, I got to the point where you play so often you're just going to get a bad beat, and nobody wants to hear the bad beat stories. And why feel terrible about a bad beat story? And they hurt more when you're playing above your bankroll. So do not play above your bankroll, because playing below your bankroll, you can be aggressive. You can be fearless. A lot of people are scared. Oh, I don't want this guy in every single one of my contests, because if he gets hurt or if he gets in foul trouble, it's going to ruin my whole night. It's like, well, you've got to play what the numbers dictate are the right plays. So if the numbers dictate that this guy is the best play, he should be in every single one of your lineups. But you're not going to do that if you're too scared of losing your money. You got to stay fearless. You got to stay aggressive. Conservative in your bankroll management, aggressive and fearless in your play. So Brandon Adams is a guy that I look up to in DFS. This guy is just a champion at life, teacher at Harvard, one of the best poker players in the world, one of the best DFS players in the world. And I just got done reading his book for a second time. It's called Personal Organization for Degenerates. It's on Amazon. I should probably set up an Amazon click-through link, get a little extra scratch to pad my bankroll. But he had some great advice in his book that I copied and pasted for this for this lesson specifically, and it reads, my advice for young people, and that can mean new people in DFS, avoid spreading your tentacles too far. Pick one thing to specialize in and do it well. Only branch out if you demonstrate sustained success and have a strong urge to try something new. And when you are not engaging in the one thing you do well, you should relax, because our connected world, while thrilling, is also demanding and exhausting. Remember that sitting out has strategic value. You get to learn without cost or risk. And in a nutshell, that's basically the bread and butter of all of my messages. Go slow, focus on something that you're really good at, be patient with it so that you have the confidence to move up and continue to execute in something that you dominate in. When you have demonstrated that and you want to try something new, start that process all over. Rome wasn't built overnight. So this is another thing that I don't think people really understand, the totality of what you can actually accomplish in DFS. Everybody's chasing that $100,000 payday. And yes, that would be life-changing. That would be wonderful. I have a friend who won $50,000 in an NFL contest, and he made more in that one contest than I did in my day job for a whole year. And that's phenomenal, and that's fantastic for him, but that is not always the reality. So you've got to have a different plan. And it's very simple. It's just working backwards. All right, so my 2019 goal, and this will continually be my goal until I achieve it, is I want to earn $100,000 in 1 year playing DFS. That's very daunting. But if you work backwards, that's only $273 a day. That's still difficult to achieve, but it's not impossible. Hey, 50 grand a year? Okay, 137 bucks. You could do that. You know, if you get good at this, you could figure out a way to do that consistently. Hey, you want an extra 2 grand a month? Better than driving Uber? Less than 70 bucks a day. Hey, you just want $1,000 extra a month to go on vacation, pay down some debt? $33 a day. Less than a cell phone bill. So these are attainable goals. These are achievable goals, and these are stuff that you can win at the lower level. I've never been over the $5 level yet, and I have achieved some of these goals. I'm not telling that to brag to you guys. I'm just telling you, if you execute properly and you have the patience and the discipline, you can do these things. If you're already doing these things and you think I suck, I don't know if you're watching my videos, but for everybody else, this works. Trust me. So some parting words for you guys. Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. Fail often. Find your niche. Play in smaller slates versus smaller fields. Little trick is the closer that contest, because DraftKings will open up contests. If a quarter jukebox fills, they're going to open up another one. You better believe DraftKings wants all the rake that they can get. So the closer they open up to lock, the contest gets smaller. We've talked about this in a previous video, but it's incredibly important because I'm not making a lot of my money playing in the large field stuff. Maybe once or twice a month I'll pop something in a larger field, but most of my money is made playing against fields with 2,000 people or less. And so the closer to lock that these games open up, the smaller the fields they're going to be, the better chances you have of winning. And I'll walk you through that process also of how do I get the volume and how do I load it up quickly before lineup lock while still doing something else. Again, this is how to find your boy. Twitter, email. This is a snapshot of what the bankroll tracker looks like. And I've got tabs built for every category of game available on DraftKings, including all of the bankroll staking plans, bankroll management plans that we've talked about over the course of the videos. So hit me up if you want a copy of it. It's free. I already put in all the hard work for you guys so you didn't have to. And again, guys, thank you for watching the videos. If you've made it this far, you don't understand how close you are to really having that breakthrough that you've been looking for. And the reason you probably found my page is, dude, something's just missing in my process. I'm not telling you to do exactly as I do. Take the principles that we talk about, make them your own. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. I respond to all of them. My DMs on Twitter are open. I respond to every email. I'm in a couple chats. If you find me, I'm on the Roto Grinders forum. I always chat it up. Comment, tell your friends. And again, if you don't like it, don't comment. Don't tell your friends. Thank you again, you guys. I really appreciate it. The site and the page is growing a couple subscribers and viewers at a time, and I love it. I'm doing this all for you guys, help you guys save some money and make less mistakes that I've made in the past. Talk to you guys soon. See you at the next one.